Hello, welcome to some QiGong this afternoon at the Royal Voluntary Service Virtual Village Hall, and my name is Stella. So you may have joined me before, or you might be brand new to trying QiGong. Either way, welcome. It's lovely to share the session with you. I love doing these sessions. It's so nice to be able to share QiGong with so many people watching these sessions. So yeah, thank you for joining. And it's really a chance just to dip your toe in if you're brand new, just to get a feel and introduction to QiGong and what it is and how it can help you. It's a really accessible practice. The form of QiGong, I will explain a bit more about QiGong and its origins and what it is. But the form that I do is called Shibashi, and it's been designed bringing different sort of schools of QiGong, which is sometimes called Tai Chi for health, just to confuse me, to make it particularly accessible. So Shibashi is a really good place to start. But also, if you've been practicing a while, if you've done QiGong before, it's also a lovely practice because even if the moves are so subtle and gentle, even so, if you've been practicing longer, you just get more from it. So I've been practicing for a few years now, maybe around 5, 6 years, and over that time, the moves I do might not have varied that much, but the depth I get from the practice. So the energy I feel and the balancing in my body, the mindfulness and the meditation aspect of the movements, I get so much from all of that. But more as I've developed personally and as I've trained, and I know that as well, the first time you try it, you can still have amazing connection and benefits. So as you can probably tell, I'm quite passionate about QiGong because it's been such a big part of my healing journey in terms of living with a chronic health condition, chronic fatigue type symptoms. QiGong has been such a wonderful practice because it's so subtle. So it has a big impact. Tai Chi for health. QiGong, sometimes it's called Tai Chi for health, as mentioned, because more people have heard of Tai Chi. That's the main reason. There are big similarities, but Tai Chi is much more the martial arts side. So as you can imagine, quite bigger, more quicker movements, whereas QiGong is very gentle. So traditionally in China, the QiGong is what the people that practice Tai Chi would be doing before, perhaps after, their more sort of intense workout with Tai Chi. So the reason being, it allows us to cultivate energy, it helps us bring balance, it helps, revive the system after all that working out. And it's a spiritual practice as well. So not only is it pushing, so not only like Tai Chi might be sort of pushing the body a bit more, and came originally through the need to fight and defend land from other villages, for example, in rural China. The practice that we're exploring is much more around. You can see I'm already these are the QiGong flow moves I'm already doing. That is more about mind, body balance, spirituality, health, general well-being, which are the things that we know we could all benefit from. We definitely all need more of it in the West. So yes, so looking forward to exploring that a bit more with you. And QiGong stands for, so loosely translated, there are some slightly different translations because it's practiced in different parts of the world, but loosely translated from the Chinese meaning is Qi is like life force. It's your vital force. It's the energy that runs through you, that courses through everything. It's life, basically. It's our energy. So that's Qi, and then Gong stands for practice, skill, exercise. So it's like a life force, energy, exercise practice. Like I say, slightly different translations, but that's the one that I usually use. That's the one that I've been taught. Okay. So what we're going to do with this practice is we will start off by doing some stretches just to warm the body up, because we need to let go of some of this tension that we're carrying, because there's a lot of tension in the body, particularly the shoulders, and very often we have no idea we're even carrying that tension. So this is a really good way to become aware, connect with the body. We don't push ourselves to let go of tension. It doesn't work like that. We're just going to do these stretches to gently loosen some of that to help you to get just a bit more relaxed before we go into these really gentle movements that are all about balancing the different energies through the different meridians around the body. So traditional Chinese medicine, if you've ever had acupuncture, you'll be aware, or acupressure, that in TCM there are meridians around the body, and these meridians need to flow clearly. They need to flow full of that chi so it can get around our system, our whole energy system, our organs, our cells, just everything needs to flow as clearly as it can. In life, blocks happen, things rarely are flowing as clearly as they could. So this is a practice that helps us get that optimum flow in our system. And if this sounds a bit out there, then don't worry. You don't need to even believe all of that to get the benefits from it. It's very relaxing. It's like a meditation. So moving meditation, which is particularly good for those of us who find it hard to sit still and focus and meditate. I know I'm one of those. So it's lovely to have a practice that allows you to get into the body, to accept your present moment, where you are, through this gentle movement. Okay, so we'll begin the stretches in just 1 second, but just to cover quickly a few things. So you can do the exercise seated if you want to, or if you need to, if you're not able to stand, that's absolutely possible. Some of the moves just need to be adjusted slightly, so you're not hitting the arms of your chair if you have them. Obviously, ideally, it's if you have a chair without arms, that's ideal. And it's about making sure your feet are planted if they can be, and that you've got a nice straight back so you're not straining yourself. Okay. And I think intuitively most of the moves can be adapted when I work with people. That's usually what they do. They listen to their body and how the moves can be slightly adjusted for the seated position. And that leads me into a really key point. Listen to your body. So this isn't a practice where you're trying to push yourself like you might do if you were hitting it hard at the gym. This is a really gentle practice where we listen to the subtleties of our body. And if you've got a certain area that feels a bit sore, you've got a niggle, don't push past it. Listen to that. You can make a move smaller or you can miss it out entirely. It's really the wisdom of your body. You know yourself better than anybody else, so you can judge what feels right for you. This practice helps us connect more with our body because quite often we're disconnected and it might not be clear how our body feels. And if that's the case, then you can notice it. And a practice like this and other mindfulness and meditation awareness type practices can help you to build that communication again to support your health. We have to feel what's going on in the body in order to be able to change it, to improve it, to heal it. Okay. It's really good to have some water nearby. And after the session, I'd really encourage you to drink plenty of water because this is getting things moving and flowing. Please do let us know how you find the session in the comments. We really love reading them. I will go back and have a look over, and I know the team at the Royal Voluntary Service do as well. Please do share your experience. It'd be lovely to hear. Okay, so we're just going to begin with stretches. Really gentle. We're just going to interlock the fingers like so, and straight away I want you to just notice, maybe do a little scan of your body. Your feet can be about shoulder width apart, knees very slightly bent, and just notice any areas of tension in your body. We're just observing them. You can see the sun's just come out here, which is nice. It's been cloudy all day. Suddenly it's nice bright sunshine. Okay, and I just invite you to soften your body, just a few percent. Let some of that tension go. And we're going to just start by rotating the wrists. So fingers interlocked, removing as much tension as you can, just rotating like so. And whilst doing these stretches, we're also challenging the brain a little about moving the body in a different way. Part of the idea is really focusing that mindfulness, focusing on the body and the other way. Remember, you want your wrists and your arms to be almost floppy. And if it's hard and you like this, just notice that. It's okay, it takes time to let go of that tension. Or if you've got any conditions that maybe affect your mobility, your flexibility, just be really patient and kind with your body. Just do what you can. We say in Tai Chi, if you could do like 100%, you dial it down, you do 70%. It's just that. Giving the body a bit of space, a bit of break. Okay, fingers still interlocked. We're going to do sort of figure eight, nice stretch at the bottom, coming up the other way. Try not to lift your hands too high because that will encourage your shoulders to come up. Just feel that nice stretch in your fingers. Letting go of a few percent more of any tension in your shoulders and your arms. Okay. Fingers very slightly, very gently together. When we do any moves that involve our hands, any stretches that involve our hands, we're not clenching, we're just very gentle. And just place them here, just around your collarbone. We're going to do a little shoulder stretch, so rotating and bringing them all the way back. A nice stretch. And this is a really good one if you get tension in the shoulders, which most people do. Most of my clients, students do, and I certainly do as well. As well, spending a lot of time at the computer, sort of hunched over a keyboard. This is a really good stretch to help loosen some of that tension. And the other way. Okay. And I'd like you just to notice how your shoulders feel. Does it feel okay to do that move? Do you want to make them smaller? Do you want to miss this out? So we're going to do a little bit more on the shoulders. If you're comfortable to continue, then similar, we're going to have our fingers in the same place, but this time we're going to row backwards, alternating the arm. And if you can see, I'm turning my waist. So I'm not keeping myself completely still and just moving my arms. I'm actually turning my waist as I bring that arm back. And that's subtlety of the waist movement and how we move our bodies is slightly different. Well, it's very different in Tai Chi compared to how we are usually sort of programmed and taught to move our body in the West. So when you go more into the fuller Tai Chi practice, there's a lot around practices called like silk reading and such, where you are really getting into an awareness of how you're moving your body, your waist. And the other way. And even though you are moving your arms, still try and take out any tension and pressure. So try and make them as loose as you can. Okay, give them a bit of a shake. Okay, now we're going to more engaging the waist. We're going to put our fists together very gently. And for this one, we're going to take a slight turn to one side and then a fuller turn. So I'll show you first, it will become clear. Doesn't matter which way you go. So slight turn and then fuller turn. So what we're doing the other way is we're just we're not pushing it. This is really important. We're just doing a very gentle little turn to warm the waist up and a bit further. So I do these stretches every morning. This one usually gives my back a nice crunch, which sounds horrible, but it feels very free. Feels good for the body, like that's what it needs. Okay, and then we're going to let the arms just hang. This is really important. You want your arms to be as loose and floppy as they can be. So you don't want to be doing this. You want them to be nice and loose. And you're just turning your waist. So you're not even doing anything with your arms. It's the waist turn that makes the arms move and wrap around. So make sure you've got space so you don't just hit the wall like I did. So the quicker you turn your waist, the quicker your arms go. And the further and the higher they go. And you can slow down again. And your arms begin to stop and you can speed up again. So there's a nice stretch. I find this really begins to wake the energy center up. And if you're feeling a bit more energetic, then you can bend your arm so it hits the top of your arm. So we're just hitting some of those acupressure points along the meridians, just waking things up. Coming back down. Laying them hang. Okay. And you might notice a sensation in your hands, your arms. I always get a bit of an energy buzz from that move because it's so energetic. And I believe it's because it's around this energy center, our dantian, so it's really very powerful. If in the day you just do one stretch, that could be great. That could be a really nice one. Okay. Okay. So I'd like you just to give your hands a bit of a shake. So some of that energy, some of that tension we're letting go. We want to let it out, let it leave the body. Shaking is really good. We know that animals shake when they're really stressed, but humans tend to tense up and do the opposite, which is problematic. So letting some of that tension out is really good. Okay. Now I'd like you to interlock your fingers again, to pop one foot out just slightly. It doesn't need to be much. What feels right for your body. Interlock your fingers, and we're just going to lean forwards and stretch up. Listening to your body. What feels right for you. The other side. Nice stretch as you reach up, coming down. Remember to keep breathing whilst we're doing this. Keep your breath rhythm nice and natural. Try not to hold your breath. Might sound strange, but actually a lot of us do hold our breath, particularly if we're focusing. Okay. One hand on your hip. We're just going to hang one arm over, and you can't sort of see me entirely, but you get the gist. And just hang there for a few seconds. And then come down, swing your arm back over. You might not want to swing it if you've got arms and you're sitting down in a chair, but you can just miss that bit out. And the other side. For that nice stretch up the side. Remember, don't push it, don't overstretch. Okay. Good. Now I'd like you to, we're going to exercise a bit of the head and the neck and also the eyes. So we're going to turn the neck very slowly to the right. And then when our neck goes as far as it can, and don't push it. As soon as you feel that that is your limit, then you stop the neck and you continue with your eyes. So you look as far back as you can with your eyes. And you bring your eyes back and you begin to tone your neck. So the same on the other side. turning your neck as far as is comfortable, and then continuing with your eyes to look back as far as you can. Coming back in. We'll do it again on the other side. Our eyes do so much for us. Of course, we all have different conditions, perhaps, different eye health, but generally, our eyes are doing a lot of work throughout the day, and we do quite little for them. We're just giving them this kind of exercise. It's really good. Fabulous. So we're going to pop the palms of our hands just on our lower back like so, and we're just going to do really gentle circles. We start small and we wind out so they get slightly bigger. Again, we're not pushing, we're just getting curious and seeing, we're just waking the body up slowly. Of course, you might have already done a lot of exercise today, and you might feel like you can do bigger movements, or you might have done very little, or you might be limited with your mobility, and you can just make things really small. If you are seated for this, then I would encourage you to close your eyes and visualize this. Can you imagine doing this movement? And the other way, starting small. So it might sound strange, but there's evidence that when we visualize things, it still has a benefit for us. So any of the moves that you can't do, if you can't do something, then I encourage you to close your eyes and imagine doing it. What would it feel like to be moving like that? The brain is, it's the mind, the brain, it's very powerful, and the connection between the mind and the body is incredibly deep. So we know now that there's that huge connection, and that actually the body, the mind doesn't know much different from imagining, visualizing to it actually happening. So give it a go and see what happens. Great. Okay, so if you've got any niggles with your back, I say go real careful with this, or just miss it out. Again, you know your body, but the key to this is keeping your back flat, straight, and and just not pushing it. So hands on the lower back, so that helps protect your back. And for this, your legs are locked out, and you're just going to lean forwards like so, and you're just going to dip. And it helps support your back if you put your neck up a bit. We're just dipping, looking ahead. You should feel a stretch in the back of your legs, back of your knees. Just waking all of this in the back of the legs, opening them up a bit. Okay. Hands on your knees. This again is protecting the knees, and we're just going to do little circles. So I have kind of weak knees, and I do find this exercise definitely helps strengthen them. Doing little circles and going the other way. Okay, and then we're going to do some of those dips again. So nice flat back, head up, looking ahead, just dipping, bending the knees and coming up real slowly. Lovely. It's quite hot here now, the sun's coming up, so I'm just going to have a sip, bear with me. I hope it's nice wherever you are. Okay, so they're the main stretches. I'd like you just to do a little kick of the leg now to let some of that tension out. So you want to do this little kick so that it's like the shoulder goes down out of your heel. So you're just kicking through the heel. Let go of some of that tension, letting it leave the body. Good. Okay, and just, if it's comfortable, give your body a bit of a shake all over. Nice. Okay. So before I go into the Shibashi form, set one, which I'm going to share with you, and maybe a few other moves depending on timings, how we go, I'd like to talk a little bit about breathing. So With Qigong, we don't force the breath. We go with the natural rhythm, but that's sometimes more easier said than done because we all have different rhythms and breath, sort of our breathing habits. They can be a bit off. So sometimes we aren't breathing in the most optimum way, and I say that because I've had that experience. I've worked with a breath physio, and I found out that I wasn't breathing quite right. So I will share with you the basics around what they taught me and what I apply now. So most, it might seem obvious, but I'll share it anyway. So breathing, we don't want to be breathing from our chest. And actually, a point in the past, I thought that I wasn't, and I found out that I was. So the key is you want to be expanding your belly when you take that breath in. So you don't want to have the movement so much in your chest. So if you had a hand on your chest and a hand on your belly, which is a good way to tell, when you take a breath in, you want this hand to be moving and this hand to be moving as little as possible. And you breathe out and you relax that stomach. So we know more chest breathing is more linked to like anxiety, that shallow breath from the chest. It might be a result of anxiety, but it's also going to make you feel more anxious. It's kind of chicken and eggs, bit of a cycle. So if you use this tool with your hands, and when you breathe in, expanding the belly, and just relaxing everything as you breathe out, in through the nose and out through the nose. Not sure if you can see it so well at that distance, but trust me, they are moving that way. Okay, so expanding the belly, nice deep breath from the belly, in and out through the nose is the ideal. And if you notice that you are, this hand's moving quite a lot, that you're a bit of a chest breather, then just become aware of it. It's really common. Try not to, get annoyed at yourself or your body. And changing your breathing pattern is a thing of patience. So just becoming aware of it is the key, really, and then seeing if you can breathe more from the belly and in and out through your nose. In this session, you might be focusing on a lot, trying to follow the moves, so don't get too wrapped up in the breathing, but just sitting there for a few minutes a day, focusing on this and encouraging yourself to breathe from the belly will help reprogram your pattern if you think you need to work on that a little. Okay. I share that because I'm not a breathwork specialist or anything like that, but breath does come into Qigong. It's really important, and it's really important that we don't extend the breath, that we don't adjust the breath to meet our movement. You want to bring the movements to the speed of your breathing. So it's a bit different because you're following me today, but feel free to make the moves a bit quicker or slower if you need to, if your breath is quicker or slower than mine. Okay, but try not to get all hung up on all of that. It's okay, and certainly if it's your first time. The main thing is just connecting with the body, feeling and getting curious about how it feels to move like this, feeling the flow, and just go with it. It's not a practice that is about getting it perfect. And if that part of us, that perfectionist, comes out, just notice it and try and bring it back to a bit more of a balance, of a curiosity. You're just being curious, moving the body in a different way. At the heart of this practice really is self-compassion. It's about meeting our body where it is, meeting ourselves where we are, arriving in the body in self-acceptance in this moment. Okay. So now to explore, to experience for yourself. So we start with our legs, our feet together. I'm going to lean into one hip, bending the other knee. So just like so. Okay, so I'm going to lean my weight into a hip, one hip, bending the other knee. And very slowly, the bent knee, I'm going to just pop that out further to the side. So my feet are about shoulder width apart, and I'm going to come into the center and just find my balance, find my center. Okay, we'll do it one more time. Feet together. Okay, I'm going to lean my weight into my right hip and bend my left knee. I'm going to very gently move that left foot across about shoulder width apart, and gently bring my point of balance into the center. Okay, and just adjust that any way you need to that makes you nice and comfortable. Ideally, we don't want the legs completely locked out. You want the knees slightly bent. But with Shibashi, it's just very subtle. So just a good posture, knees very slightly bent, feet shoulder width apart. Okay. Hands hanging by your side for now. And I'll invite you to close your eyes if it's comfortable to do so. And take some of those nice breaths from your belly. And I'd like you to imagine a nice string holding your head up. So you've got this lovely posture, the strings coming from the heavens, connecting to your head, holding you up nice and tall. And I'd like you to imagine you've got these nice thick roots coming down from your feet, the soles of your feet, into the earth below. So this is the balance and connection, the heaven chi above, the earth grounding chi below, heaven, the masculine, Mother Nature, earth, the feminine, all these energies, the yin, the yang, the light, the dark, and in between, there is you, there is me, there is us, this sort of human energy system. And really, it all comes down to balance in life. Certainly in this practice and in my experience, my belief. Too much of one thing will tip us over, might lead to health issues. You even have too much of a good thing. About balance. So we're just welcoming this balance into our body, our energy system. By imagining that nice string going up to the heavens, the sky, nice thick roots going down into the earth. Okay, we're just going to really engage with those different energies and bring balance into the body. Okay, so hands by your side, nice deep breath. Okay, very gently we're going to lift our hands up for the first move, breathing in. Breathing out as they come down. Remember, you want your body to be as soft as possible, letting go of as much tension as you can, breathing in. Hands up, and breathing out as they float down. In, out. In, out. You want your shoulders and your arms to be as soft as they can be. Remembering it's okay if there is tension because you can't rush yourself, you can't force the body to let go. It takes time and practice. Okay, now we're going to go into the next move, opening the chest, so similar, but we move a bit quicker. Okay. Breathing out, you come down. Breathing in. Open that chest. Breathing out as you come down. Okay. Breathing in. Open. Out. Remember to follow your rhythm of breathing. We'll do one more. Okay. Now we're going to bring the hands up. And we're going to, got one hand above the head. Let's go a bit lower for this one. One hand above the head and one out like so. And it's called Dancing with Rainbows. So you just stand normally. I'm just adjusting so you can see me. And you take a breath in. You swap the arms over. And you turn your head to face and see that hand as if you've got a book on it. It's nice and flat. Take that breath in, turning the other side. Breathing out. Adjusting it for your breath. This is a good one to get chi into the digestion, into the stomach, get things flowing. Okay. Well done. Now we're going to circle arms, breathing in. Circling the arms, turning the palms to face down, breathing out. This is good for energy. If you have fatigue, this is a nice move. Remember, you want to let go of the tension, your arms to be soft, floating through the air. Breathing in as you come up, out as you come down. One more. Okay, both your hands in front of you. This one, remember what I said about the waist earlier, so it's really about the turn in the waist. So we're swinging arms and turning waist, which is the name of the move. We're going to take a breath in, turn the waist, swing the arm back, and breathe out as it comes forward. We swap the other side, in and out. So it's like a swimming motion. Turning the waist, which brings the arm back. Remembering you want your body to be as soft as it can, letting go of that tension just a few percent more. A few percent at a time is perfect. It's all your body needs to begin to shift, to begin to change and open up to this energy flow. Okay, palms facing up. We're going to do what's called rowing a boat. So we take a breath in, bring the hands back and all the way over, and breathe out as you come down. Remembering that you want your arms, your hands to be floating through the air. It's almost as if the air is like cotton wool or clouds, and your hands couldn't go quickly, even if you wanted them to. They're just floating through all this cloudy candy. It's not a very good analogy, but you get the picture. Great. Okay. Now we're going to do lifting a ball. So it's ideal. Obviously, I'm instructing you, and this is appropriate for beginners, so there's more instruction. But ideally, when you practice, if you do some of these moves in your own time, you want them to flow into each other as much as possible. So the less interruption and pause there is, the more flow there is between the moves, the better it is to help that chi balance really get into its flow. Okay, lifting a ball. So we can do alternate sides. Doesn't matter what side you start on. And we're going to take a breath in as we lift the palm across the body. So breathing in. We're going to turn the hand over and breathe out, and it comes back. Other side. In. So as it's called lifting ball, the idea is to imagine you've got this ball on your palm, you turn it over and bring it down. Another teacher of mine had another way to describe it. She likes to pretend that she's picking a plum off a tree, turning it over off the branch and bringing it down, which I think is quite nice. So reaching for that fruit, turning it over, bringing it back down. So you're breathing in as you go up, breathing out as you come down. And the more confident you get and the more into the moves you get, it's really nice to close your eyes, to really connect with that feeling of emotion in the body. I will I will give you the opportunity to do a bit of that before we finish today. So I'll pick a really simple movement and I'll support you, give you the chance to close your eyes and just go a bit deeper into that. Okay, now we're going to do carrying moon. So Dantian area, really important area. It's our energy source, our life source in Tai Chi and Qigong. Imagine we're holding the moon here, and we're going to turn and lift the moon. We're going to look up at it, and in this move, the idea is you're going to stretch past, like beyond your body. So you want to stretch your hands back as far as they'll go. Again, don't overstretch. But we start here. We take a breath in, carry the moon up, look up like you're looking up in the sky at that moon, and bring it down. Other side, breathing in, breathing out as it comes down. In, out, in, reminder your shoulders to let go of some of that tension, just a few % more. Ideally, your knees are just very slightly bent, so you just don't want your legs completely locked out. Traditional sort of Chinese traditions around these martial arts, this exercise teaches that if your legs are locked out, it might block the chi flow. That's the reason we want them ever so slightly, and it is ever so slightly. You see, so they're not like this, they're just like this. Carrying the moon up and back down. This will be the last one. Great. Okay. Now we're going to push the palm across the body. It's diagonally across the body, and it's the turning of the waist that's pushing the palm. So you don't need to over push. It can be really subtle. So we take a breath in first for this one, and we breathe out as we push the palm. So breathing in, breathing out, pushing the palm gently across the body. Twist the wrist, bring it back in as you breathe in. Other side, breathing out. Twist the wrist, breathing in. Out. Twist. In. Out. Twist. In. Out. Remember, shoulders, arms as soft as they can be. As if you're just gently floating, pushing through thick air. Okay, lovely, well done. Now we're going to do playing with the clouds. So we pop one hand above. I'm going to pop my left hand above my right. But again, it really doesn't matter what feels comfortable for you. And you just want we just want our arms to be slightly open like this. Let go of as much tension as you can. You don't want to suddenly go like this. So nice, gentle, soft arms. And these movements can be really subtle. You don't want to overturn the waist. Just going to very gently turn the waist. Turn it across. When you get to that point where you feel like you've gone as far as feels comfortable, and everybody's point is different, we swap the hands over before we come the other way. Remember to keep breathing. Swap them. Swapping the hands, turning the waist. From the side, it looks like this. This is a chance to really soften those arms and shoulders as much as you can. And in terms of relaxation, that's the main goal of this move, really. For the Shabashi set 1, you can focus on that top hand as it comes across. That's a mindfulness, meditation point, focus on the top hand. This is a very simplified version of a really traditional Tai Chi move, which is called silk reeling, which usually engages the legs and can be much more complex. And there's lots of different versions. You don't need to do this. I'm just showing you where the legs are engaged. And it trains you in the very basic sort of philosophies of Tai Chi, the subtleties of how the body moves. It's very complicated. It can be very complicated, even though it looks super simple. But that is just a really nice, simple way to explore that move. Okay, so now we're going to do playing with the waves. So we're going to do 3 different moves set on one side, and we'll repeat them on the other side. It will become clear. Don't worry, just follow me. You might notice that a lot of these moves are connected with nature, are connected with animals. They've been inspired by nature, basically, which is really, really nice, really lovely. So it's always ideal to practice Qigong outside, barefoot if you can, but that's obviously not always possible. Okay, so we're going to put one foot out just slightly. You don't need to overstretch, just one foot slightly in front of the other. And we are going to take a breath in, and we're going to scoop down, cross the hands and come back and breathe out and lean back slightly. So we breathe in, going down, scoop the sea, breathing out as we come back. Breathing in, scoop the sea, breathing out. You can imagine you're at the beach, the waves are rolling up, you're bending down, you're scooping that sea. Do one more of these. There's so many plants around me, I'm struggling not to hit them all. Okay, now we're going to play with the waves. So we take a breath in, and then we breathe out as we push this wave, and we go slightly up, and we breathe out as we come in. In. So breathe out as we go out, pushing that wave, and we breathe in as we come back in. That's it. And it's that ebb and flow, that natural rhythm of the sea, of the ocean, of the tide, of the moon, the cycles, just connecting to that gentle, constant rhythm that we're all a part of, all connected to. Okay, we'll do one more. This time, as you come in, you bring your hands together, just slightly, like this, and we're going to bring them out and then bring them in. So we're breathing in, we bring the hands in. So it's kind of like that open chest move. Spreading those wings a bit. Okay, so we're breathing in as we bring the hands in like so. Breathing out as you open the wings. Breathing in as it comes back in. That's one of the trickier ones to get, so don't worry if you didn't get that, coordinating with your breathing. We'll do it on the other side, so you've got a chance to explore it a bit more. Okay, so foot slightly out on the other side again. It can be really subtle. Again, if you're seated, you can just adjust these moves to what feels right for you. Obviously, you can still lean over and scoop a bit, but don't over scoop, don't overstretch. Be really careful with your back. Nice planted feet, nice strong back. Okay, so we're going to scoop a C, breathing in. Breathing out as it comes down. You can scoop as low down as you want to. It depends how flexible you are and how your blood pressure is. If you've got low blood pressure, you don't want to be scooping too low. You might get a bit dizzy as you come up. Really imagine, remember you're at the beach, you're scooping up that water, those waves. Breathing in as you reach down, scoop. Breathing out as it comes back down. Then we're going to take a breath in. We're going to play with the waves. Remembering your shoulders, your arms as loose as possible. Your legs are nice and strong and sturdy. They're like your trunk, but your upper body, we want that to be nice, soft as possible. That's the yin and the yang. Nice and grounded and gentle, soft upper body connected to that head and chi. Okay, we'll do one more. Breathing in as you bring the hands in, opening up those wings all the way. Okay, in, out, in, and out. That rocking motion, in and out. This rocking motion helps to engage the meridian points like the bubbling spring on the foot. If you ever had reflexology, you'll know there's so many points, important points on the feet. Okay. Then we'll finish that move. We'll come back to the center, facing forward again. Fists together, over really gently, not clenched tightly. This is sort of push and pull motion again. So we take a breath in first and we breathe out as we gently punch. So take a breath in. And punching one of your fists forward. Breathing in as it comes in. Breathing out, punching, breathing in. Shake from the side. Out. Remember, I'm not overstretching. Don't need to punch very fast, certainly not fast. Really slowing everything down. Notice how it feels to slow things down this much. It can feel uncomfortable for some people. There's a lot of tension, anxiety in the body. It can feel challenging to slow everything down because it's different. It makes you sort of sit with that feeling, which can feel uncomfortable. But most people find it really nice and relaxing. So QiGong, evidence research studies have shown QiGong to support a wide range of health conditions from blood pressure, things like my mind's gone blank, this condition that I was going to mention, and it's just gone out of my head, so I'm sure Parkinson's. There you go. Yes, evidence has shown it's good, supportive of Parkinson's. For all kinds of things, for sleep issues, for stress, migraines. I know I've worked with people that said it's really helped with their sleep. That's a really common thing. Just letting go of some of that tension that causes things like headaches and migraines and aches and pains. It's really wonderful for clearing some of that. There's actually so many conditions that, through my training, I'm told it helps, that could be listing them for a very long time. Okay, arms by your side. This is flying goose. This is the one I usually suggest people take away if they're going to do one and practice one. This is a really nice one to do. So, hands hanging nice and loose. We take a breath in. Imagine you've got nice big wings and breathe out as they come down. In and out. Remember, you want to adjust the moves to fit your breath. You don't want to be holding your breath or stretching it, just your natural breathing cycle. It's nice if you want to imagine you've got these big, large feathered wings and they're just floating down through the air. Remembering you want to let go of a few percent more tension in your shoulders and your arms. Just let them really float through that thick air. Breathing in as you go up. Out as you come down. Wonderful. Okay, we're going to do spinning wheel now. So this is, as it sounds really, we're spinning a wheel, a large wheel. So we breathe in, we go all the way up, over and around, and we breathe out as we come down. in. It's good to look up at your hands as you move them over if you can. But you don't necessarily want to look down, again, because of blood pressure issues. Feel that nice stretch. So the thing about QiGong is it's really stretching the body. It's giving it a nice wake up, a nice stretch in the other way. So you don't have to do those stretches that we did at the start today. QiGong itself does stretch. They're just what I do. They're what I've been taught through my Tai Chi classes, which incorporate more traditional Tai Chi and QiGong. So these QiGong moves, they stretch the body anyway. So don't feel like you need to remember the stretches. Okay. Now we're going to do bouncing ball. So with this, we lift, I'll show you first before you do it, we lift one hand up and the opposite leg. Okay, so I'm going to lift my right hand up and my left leg, and I'll put them down, and then I'll lift my left hand and my right leg and put them down. It doesn't matter what side you do. With balance, you can lift your foot off the ground if you want to, or you can keep the contact and just lift the heel up. So have a play. Everybody's balance is different. And if you're not used to this practice, your balance might not be great, but this is a really good practice QiGong to help improve your balance, which we know is really important as we get older. People have a lot, tend to have falls. It is an issue. So the more we can do practices like this to improve our balance, to prevent falls and any sort of injuries that come with that, and to help us be more independent for as long as we can, really important. So we're going to take a breath in as we lift one hand up on the opposite leg and breathe out as we come down. Other side, breathing in, breathing out. In, out, in, and out, in, out, one more on each side. I like to imagine this is like a puppet. You've got a string, you're lifting that leg up. Okay, now we're going to do the closing move, which is about balance. We're balancing all that chi. We're going to take a breath in, lift the hands up, palms facing up to the heart. Turn them over and breathe out as you go down. So not only do you want to think about not lifting your shoulders, keeping everything as soft and relaxed as it can be, I also encourage you to start to think about sending some of that chi, that energy down your legs into the roots, into the earth. So it's like you're really sinking your way down, nice, grounded, strong. Usually we've got a lot of energy going around our mind, buzzing, so it's a nice way to really set that intention of sending some of that energy down into your roots, helping ground you, connect you, really bring you into your body, into the present moment. Okay. Just before we close, I'm going to give you the chance to connect with the practice a bit more. So for this, if you haven't been closing your eyes, then this is a really good time to do that. This is a QiGong move. This isn't the Shibashi set one we just done, but it's very similar. This is something that my Chen Tai Chi teacher quite often does, and he's been taught by the masters in the Chen village. They often will do this before after they do their 8-hour practice. Okay, so hands just out like this, everything as loose as it can be, legs, knees slightly bent. Remembering legs are like your strong tree trunks, nice and grounded, and soft upper body. We take a breath in. We just bring the hands up like this, and we breathe out as we come down. Super simple. But the more you turn your attention inwards, your inner sanctuary, your inner body, becoming aware of the subtlety of your hands through the air, really sinking the weight as you go down into the earth, softening any tension a bit more. Breathing in as you come up, breathing out as you go down. I'm going to be quiet just for a few seconds to let you connect with this practice. Really feel it. Okay, you might have tingling in your hands, you might have just connected a bit more with your body, whatever your experience, know it's just perfect for you. We're going to hang our hands by our side. We're going to lean into the hip, one side, I'm using my right hip, and we're going to just bring the foot in, feet, ankles together. Legs can be locked out now, it doesn't matter. And we're just going to thank you for the practice today. Thank you for joining me. And I'd like you to pop your hands on your tummy. So if you identify as a woman, you have your left hand on the outside on the top. If you identify as a man, the other way around. And we're just going to give our dantian, our stomach, just a bit of a rub, a bit of a shake. Remember, I said this is your energy center, your energy source, so we want it to be nice and awake. Okay, rub your hands and send some of that chi energy into your kidney points. They do a lot for you, just giving them a bit of energy. And then brushing off some of the negative chi that's come up through our practice. We want to get rid of that. Again, this is what the Chen masters do with their subtleties, awareness of the energies. They teach that they come up out of the body, so you want to just brush them off. Have a little bit of a shake. Okay. Well done. Thank you so much for joining me. Please, like I said, let us know in the comments how you found the session. If you've got any questions or any feedback, we'll absolutely look at that. So please share. I hope you enjoyed the session. I'm going to be back, noted it down, I'm going to be back on Thursday the 3rd of August for some emotional freedom technique tapping, which is a meridian point tapping tool therapy. And that will be on Thursday the 3rd at 11 o'clock. But for today, really listen to your body, drink plenty of fluids, lots of water, herbal teas maybe. Go gently, just notice how you feel. Sometimes we get energized, or sometimes we feel quite tired. It depends what the balance was in our system before and how we need to be rebalanced. Just go with it, trust the wisdom of your body, and thank you very much. I hope to see you again soon. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.